guys, happy Friday. Miss Erica here. We are going to work with some more paint today. We are going to work with a method called Pointillism. This is something that some of my older friends are pretty familiar with from years before at Monarch. We have done this sort of painting before but never really put a name to it. Gather some Q-tips, some paint of your choice, colors of your choice. You can use either or with paint. I'm using tempera paint. You can use watercolors as well. I have a regular piece of paper that I'm going to paint on top of, and then I have a stencil. Let me show you what I mean by that. I have something that I'm going to use to paint around. I need something to sit in the middle of my paper or wherever I'm going to put it and be able to work around this stencil. Whatever you have laying around is fine. I had a bunch of cardboard, so I just kind of cut this out. If you have like a circle or a square or something that's laying around that's already the shape you want to use, you can use that. We're going to be make sure you can get paint on it. You are going to be setting that in somewhere on your paper to use to paint around. So make sure that you can get it full of paint if you're using something from around your house. So gather your materials and meet me back right over here and we will get started. So I have everything that I need here in front of me, but first, before I get started with the painting project that we have, I'm going to use my little palette and my spatula here to make a new color. I have my primary colors in front of me, but I don't have any purple or I don't have any pink. So I will be making that with these colors inside of my palette. I'm going to make pink first. I'm going to take a little bit of red and put it inside this little circle here. Okie dokie. Now I have a paper towel handy. I'm going to just wipe my red paint off, grab my white, and dab a little bit of white inside of there. Now I'm just going to add little by little with the white, because that white is what's going to turn my red pink. Okay, it's still looking a little red. We're getting there, guys. Whenever you are done with this pink, you can move on to the purple. Okay, so I feel like that is pink enough. I'm now going to create a purple in one of these other little spots here. Let's focus in on that. I'm going to grab some blue. And some red. And we're going to mix those two together. I would say an even amount of both. kind of a deep burgundy color. I'm going to add a little more blue. Now I feel like I have enough blue in here to make the color purple, but my purple is pretty dark right now. To lighten it up, I'm going to add a little dot of white. To brighten it up into an actual purple color, which is what we're getting here. Now remember, the white is the less powerful color when you're mixing these colors together, so I would get more white than you are getting dark colors. I don't think you realize you're gonna get covered in paint, so let's get off of here. Alrighty, I have got both of those colors, whoa, the way I would like them. There's my pink, there's my purple. I'm ready to use both of those. I'm gonna put those in line with everything else. I won't need my white anymore. My paper is going to be white, so none of my paint will be white this time. Clean that off. We are all done with the spatula. Now to bring in the Q-tips. 2 Q-tips for pink and purple. 1 Q-tip for red, 1 for orange, yellow, green, blue. I'm ready for my paper and I'm ready for my stencil. So I'm going to start in the middle of my paper. Now to start off with, of course I'm doing a rainbow pattern, so I'm going to start with red. Now I'm not going to submerge, completely stick my Q-tip in the paint. I don't want my handle and everything else covered in red. I also don't want it slopping with paint. This is a pretty precise little project here, so I don't want to get messy with the paint. And so we're just using this guide here to go around. Try to make sure you're not putting your stencil or your guide right on top of the paper or right on top of the paint, because then you're going to smear it on your paper. So I have my red. I am going to, let's find a good place. Grab this little scrap paper here. I'm going to stick my already painted on Q-tip here so I'm not getting my table all messy. Orange is next. So this is my finished product. I have it here in front of the camera, kind of down below, so you can see where exactly I put my triangle stencil and how I created that shape without actually outlining it in a pencil or whatever. I used my paint in a pointillism pattern around my stencil to show anybody who's viewing my art what shape I was trying to create. I also created two more over here so that you could see how to kind of create more than one on one picture and how to do that with the colors and how to do that with the dots. Now, I have noticed looking down that my triangles are not the straightest, but with pointillism, it is a little hard when you're not tracing the outline object that you would like to create with your paints. So I am going to actually show you something that we can do with a paper and an outline. And I'm going to do this one with crayons, or with markers, excuse me. I am going to use the shape of my jar. I'm going to put it right in the middle, and I am this time going to use a pencil to make my outline, and I'm going to show you how I make that line invisible when the time comes for me to take it off of here. Okay, so there is my circle drawn in the middle of my paper. I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did the first time, but with marker. That means my dots are going to be much smaller. Now the tricky part is if you get impatient and you start to go a little too fast, your dots may not be in line with one another. So I would be careful at how fast you go. All right, now there's my first line. Alright guys, so I did that last video without audio so you could really focus on what was going on with the pointillism and how fast you're able to get the design or the shape that you are trying to achieve with that fast motion during that time. I kind of tried to speed it up so you could see just how your hard work was going to pay off once you got there. If you see yourself starting to go a little faster, I started to go a little faster over here, and you can kind of see my circle didn't end up to be a circle in that area. It's kind of lopsided, and that's okay. You can't really see it from far away. I did this little point over here just so you can see you can start forming shapes with the pointillism method outside of just tracing it first and working around it. I think that my friends can achieve this look without using a stencil. I just wanted to use a stencil first to show you how to get started. Same with this one. I really hope you guys had fun with these. Experiment. This is another really great art project that you can experiment with. If you like to draw, I would try drawing maybe something that is easily shaped out of dots on the outside of it, but maybe like a person or a dog or an animal of some sort that's easily identifiable in the middle of your paper or wherever, and work out from it. You can even use pointillism to create shading and darkness depending on how patient you are and how slow you go. You can make those dots really, really close together and small, which creates kind of a shadowy background depending on how you want to use this pointillism method. Well, guys, I hope you had fun with this. Show me all of your experimenting, all of your creativity with pointillism. I will see you on Monday. Bye, guys.